My job is much harder if Nina is not happy. Thank you, Nina. All right, back to the topic of the draft here. Weaver Mars on one side, like you mentioned, one of the best supports inside this patch. Mars is usually pretty solid no matter what happens. We see him flexed into other roles every so often, especially on these SATs. Excuse me. And on the other side, all right, there's another hero to help buff up the Spirit Breaker. So we got Ogre Magic providing Bloodlust alongside the Grimstroke, but I feel like his supports are kind of underwhelming for damage. You can make up for it Grimstroke is the late game. When he gets an Agnum Scepter, he becomes like, enemy carry, but better with Dark Portrait.
You actually have a lot of damage coming out from Soulbind with just these two heroes, so it's actually pretty okay. The Oracle pick is very good, though. The Ember Spirit pick, we don't really know quite yet, like where this one's going. You could flex it to the safe lane, but most likely Mini's in the mid lane because that just is a mini hero for sure. And Zoomers here, they could go back for the Storm Spirit if they really wanted, but there's just nothing to like really amplify Ad's game here if he does go for the Storm Spirit mid. And it could just be something that APU is baiting.
Yeah, again, the man is a specialist on several heroes. It's been a little while, and he hasn't playing them as much after the reworks a couple times, but both the Monkey King and the Kunkka are something that he's played a lot of in the past. And if he's trying to go for whatever makes him most comfortable, I imagine he'll go for one of those two heroes. Otherwise, I think they'll just go for what works inside the current patch.
I agree.
Yeah, they've gotten rid of the Lina, the OD, the Queen of Pain. All those heroes are pretty solid with the draft they have so far. I think you probably just want to go straight damage at this point, though, if you have a Grimstroke and an Ogre Magi. Like, you mentioned these two heroes can do a decent amount of damage together, but I think you need somebody who can kind of follow up on the Spirit Breaker a little bit better. They do end up going for the Monkey King, like I mentioned, though.
Yeah, this is what you were saying earlier, one of Ad's best heroes. And I think from the mid lane, if it is into the Ember Spirit, which it should be, it's pretty solid. You could also flex it to the safe lane on Costa Bile into the Mars. So overall, a very solid pick. I'm curious where they're going in the last stage here because it is going to be the safe lane for APU.
They both need a safe lane hero, huh? If the Monkey King isn't running the safe lane.
Yeah.
But if they've done their research at all on ads, they'll see that he's a lot of Monkey King games played, and they'll probably run in the mid lane. So banning out safe lanes on the side of both teams, I think, is going to be the priority. If you have an Oracle, I want to get rid of the Luna. Interesting. I think that Terrorblade would be pretty solid for the side of King of Kings. Getting rid of the Naga side would make sense. They just had a decent performance on it on Benny. I think you get rid of another high armor hero if you're playing the Monkey King. Although Spirit Breaker deals with armor pretty well.
They could also be looking to go for a PA. So I'm curious if they just ban that one out here.
For who?
For Zoomers. Like, for Zoomers, PA is not bad.
I mean, you blow up the Oracle pretty fast. It gives you a way of jumping the back line. It wouldn't be that bad. Probably get rid of that one. Because right now they have no great way of getting on top of the Oracle. Morphling kind of serves the same purpose. So yeah, they get rid of that one. Maybe a side they plan on picking up a Gyrocopter this game on King of Kings. They're getting rid of the Morphling.
That, or just the fact that once you have Agnums, you have double Spirit Breaker.
10 seconds remain.
That's pretty much good enough reason to ban it out almost.
Yeah, we saw that from PSG LGD, right?
I've seen a couple different teams do it. Yeah, it's very good.
I'm surprised they get rid of the Wraith King here, and they do end up taking the fan. Oh no, though you just mentioned that 4 Zoomers might want to grab that.
I think it's still good for the side of the APU, but it's definitely a deny pick because it's a very good pick for those Zoomers here. So I like the PA. I'm really curious what you go now on the side of 4 Zoomers. You could opt for... Dude, there's just not a lot of good heroes that are good into the PA here. Why not maybe take Monkey King safe lane, grab Viper for mid?
Very unlikely. I'm almost certain it's going to be Adzantic on the Monkey King.
Yeah.
I can hear the man making monkey noises on the microphone right now.
Yeah.
Just like old times.
Man, I don't know what you pick here. It's got to be something that can beat Mars and be good against Phantom Assassin. Okay, that's pretty good. That's one of those heroes. Costa Bile's Medusa is pretty dang strong as well.
Yeah, I mean, I think they're pretty good at getting in and out of the fights, and you're picking this into the Mars, who can deny a lot of damage coming out from the Medusa in the fights in the ultra late game. I don't like it about that. Benny is going to struggle to blow you up with this Phantom Assassin if you're on the Medusa, though. So I think that Four Zoomers is in a much better place than they were in the previous game. I definitely prefer King of Kings draft last time. This game, I'm not as sure which direction to go in. I know Xantic's Monkey King is crazy, though. I know Moose Spirit Breaker is insane. So based on personal bias of these players alone, Four Zoomer is going to be my preference for game number 2 here.
All right, interesting. I man, this is a hard one. I do like the Zoomers draft a lot better in game 2 here as opposed to game number 1. It's really just going to come down if they can actually win the lanes. And mid lane mini Ember Spirit, despite being into the disadvantaged lane of the Monkey King, he might be able to pull it off still. So I think out of just pure draft and the Zoomers being on a lot of comfort heroes, I'm going to have to go with 4 Zoomers. But not convinced.
All right. Well, we'll see if Ember Spirit is able to play decently against the Monkey King inside the lane, like you mentioned. But again, I'm almost certain that it's going to be Xantic coming out on top on this mid lane at the very least. Last time he did reasonably well enough on the Storm Spirit, regardless of the fact that Invoker should have won that lane a little bit harder than he did. Just post laning phase, the Storm Spirit didn't do too great. Well, team's going to smoke up and run right down the mid lane. Do you think either of these teams are going to run into each other? I mean, this has been the meta inside China. Or you just wait on top of the hill for the enemies to try and scout it as a reward and get yourself first blood with that.
I think that's Sakuchi, Smoked Weaver. He's just going to get a ward down right away. Ends up putting it up on the enemy high ground. Meanwhile, Zoomers positioned on the other. All right, so double ward dropped in mid. Classic. 4 Zoomers going for the wraparound or to bottom lane. Have to be very careful to not get seen by that outpost. What is this courier? Well, he does get a ward dropped behind the mid tower. I don't think they saw it.
No, I don't think they did. It's very unlikely they scout that one out as well.
High five in the tower. Very cool.
I just don't know if anyone's going to be able to actually pick off couriers with that one. If you had a Weaver on your side, you might be able to get it, but Weaver's on Zoomer, Radiant, King of Kings. So yeah, I don't think much is going to come with that Observer Ward.
I like this one. It is fun to play with because, like you said, you do get to snipe couriers, and I think in this off lane where you have Spirit Breaker, Grimstroke, they want to play really aggressive. So they're gonna see if someone's gonna like escort the wave here, and if they were, they'd get themselves a kill most likely. But
dude, this guy's not even Grandmaster on Monkey King.
Dude, they're just killing the wave. They just kill the rage creep right away. Non-Grandmaster Monkey King, level 26 versus level 25 Ember. So clearly Monkey King is going to win just based on the numbers alone. I think that's how that works.
Very cringe that he's not level 30 on this one, though. I'd be almost certain that he would be.
He said it's his like most played hero.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Mini with 2 Grandmasters.
Yeah.
And a level 25 Ember.
Yeah, very cringe Xantic for the lose.
Moo doing a pretty good job here of just pulling. Both of these camps are just blocked. So.
And Medusa's courier is dead.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
Did it deliver items?
Courier
Looks
might
like
die as well. It did, yeah. It ended up delivering the items and going back through the trees to over where the Weaver was. All right, Ogre's courier is going to be just fine.
And a
pause comes out. Yeah. And chance to analyze these lanes here. It looks like Monkey King is slightly winning the mid lane up against the Ember Spirit here. He's got a Wraith Band queued up, so it'll deal with Sleight of Fist harass. It'll come out from this Ember Spirit a little bit. Extra armor is pretty important when you're dealing with all that bonus physical. Normally people don't get Wraith Bands though. He's got the Orb of Venom queued up after that one, so probably looking to find kills off into him, or at least get a Jingu stacks off. I don't know if he'll go 2 points into Jingu Master here. When you're playing against melee heroes, usually put extra points into Jingu. Otherwise, you start maxing out Tree Dancer, so you're able to move around the map and farm a little bit quicker.
Yeah, he'll probably go
That's when-
2-0-2 and then max Tree Dances would be my guess.
Mhm.
I think that's pretty much that build feels the best. Like Boundless Strike as well as Jingu scale pretty well with just a single level. So
Yep. Ember Spirit reconnect to the game. Down the bottom lane, it's hard to really tell how this one's going yet. We've only seen like, I don't know, 2 creep waves come in. I think Moo's going to do reasonably well enough. Again, he was playing this and winning with it before it got that popular. I think like a couple patches back, another BTS Pro Series. Man just pops off when he plays position Spirit Breaker.
they have the lane in a good position here for 4 Zoomers. So I think this is a really important place to be. Like if they can keep the lane here, Moo should be able to farm. And with the wave currently being taken down by the tower bottom, Benny is just gonna push in, and not a whole lot you can do. So, oh, nice play by Benny actually, just dragging the creep as far back as possible to make it live. So, pretty well done. That's an oof charge if I've ever seen it.
Yep. What can you do?
That's like watching a cat like on hardwood floors like try to take off like with zoomies and then just run in place, you know?
Yeah.
That's what that was.
You hate to see it, man.
Nah, it's hilarious. I love to see it. So just like we thought, ads went for the second point in Jingu in the mid lane. Oracle taking a decent chunk of damage here bottom, but
Yep, they couldn't dive him though. Can't go any further into the tower than that.
meanwhile,
Ads
ads
playing
in the
forward
mid
on
lane.
mini here.
He
Yep.
does have a sleight of fist. Whoa, doesn't end up dodging that out. Gonna be forced to pop the water rune to keep himself alive, and that's just how this lane's gonna go, right? There's not a lot of options here.
No. Mini's gonna. Yeah, you can't get the other water rune. Unfortunately, only you grab the first one. Ads is gonna grab this one just so the Ember Spirit can't get it.
Do you think water runes will be removed? I think so.
It was a neat concept, but
I think water runes will be removed from the game, and power runes will still not spawn until 6 minutes, and then a water rune will spawn on the other side. Top lane, they get the first blood kill there on to Husky. Beautifully done here by the Weaver once again as he gets first blood for the second game in a row.
yeah. Not bad. Jupiter popping off on the Weaver again. He's gonna get his Spirit Vessel pretty quickly. Or sorry, his Urn pretty quickly as well.
I'm curious how Dunha is going to play this lane, like the Mars into
Dunha.
Medusa.
You know.
Dunha?
Yeah. One is an L because he's a
Nah.
elite speaking gamer.
Nah. Dunha.
Do not.
There's an H in there.
Do not. H is like kind of silent.
Well, I will just call him Mars. Mid lane, Monkey King gets caught by Mini. Nice rotation from Jupiter as well. He's just going to be able to, yeah, pick him off super easily. Just the preemptive cast there on those on the Fortune's end
Bottom
makes
lane.
so he can't actually go for the Boundless Strike. Benny, bottom lane, yep, does get stunned up by Moo. They're just going to go for the dive here. Ends up missing the Stroke of Fate, but Moo, convenient little bash there to finish it off. So a 1-for-1 trade around the map. You lose the PA, you kill the Monkey King. It's actually kind of okay for APU in terms of like the grand scheme of things, because PA was having a pretty good game, and you've stabilized minis a little bit with that rotation.
Yeah. Now it looks like Ember Spirit about tied with the Monkey King as far as net worth goes after Xantic is forced to come back into the lane. So I'd say that it was worth it. Serum, he's going to try to deny himself to creeps, but I think he's trying to get the Tormentor to throw the Shockwave out. He brought the 3 heroes over. Wait, does it even still throw the Shockwave? I haven't seen it do it the longest time.
What are you talking about?
The Satyr Tormentor.
Yeah, it's still a Shockwave. Why?
No, but does it throw it out anymore? I feel like I haven't seen it do that in like...
I think
A
you have
year.
to do, someone has to do
So.
damage to it before it will.
Yeah. Versus the Ursa champion, it'll just clap when 3 heroes are beside it.
Or the Centaur.
On the hunt for radiant
Yep.
Yeah, I haven't seen anyone get
Mini?
sniped by a Shockwave in a while. It's pretty funny. Yeah, Mini just chased down in the jungle here by Monkey King and Z-Freak, and
You picked the wrong side, Zin.
pretty easy. Serum bottom lane kills Moo, though. Okay, kills around the map. It's basically, so far, the whole thing has been like give and take, right? You get one kill somewhere and you lose someone on the opposite side of the map for that exact rotation.
Yeah, Dota 2 is all about equivalent exchange like that.
Do you know about the law of equivalent exchange?
Of course. I watched Full Metal Alchemist.
I'm not speaking to you again.
All right,
Z-Freak?
adds off to a much better start than last time. He's actually got 3 points on Jingu Mastery.
Mini should be able to get this kill, and he does. Disarm for the moment onto ads. Big boundless strike. Like I said, 3 points in the Jingu is a lot of damage. So 1-for-1 trade, but Mini getting a kill there on a Grimstroke. He's level 6 now. He's actually not that far behind. It could be a lot worse.
Yeah. He incorrectly thinks that they have vision around here. Because he walked into the trees there. I think they did it at a very weird angle, or where the creeps could still see him even though it's nighttime.
Dead top lane. Beautifully
I completely
done.
missed that.
Yeah, the arena spear. Just too
Bottom
low. I
lane?
mean, he's just been getting harassed out constantly by the Weaver. And yeah, bottom lane, Spearbreaker goes in. Nice save there from the Oracle, dodging a lot of that magic damage. And he doesn't have another charge, so Benny should be fine here. Weaver making another rotation bottom. Urn comes out. Z-Freak goes down. Moo hesitant to charge, rightfully so.
I was too busy trying to analyze what was happening over here in the mid lane as far as like wards go. They ended up dropping 3. They had 3 sentries. They had one on the small camp, one over on their side of the river, one on their own side of the river, and they didn't find anything. But they were certain that there was an observer there. It was just the creeps that ended up giving him vision, though.
Is under attack.
Things slowed down for a moment. 7 minutes into the game. Bottom, no, nothing happens. Moo just ends up charging forward to grab the creep wave here. Mini's gonna be looking for Medusa here in the jungle, though.
Yeah, he's not going to find him. You're already off to a great start once again on the Phantom Assassin, and your Medusa is really struggling. And part of this is just because of how strong this Weaver is, right? Like, Weaver just constantly throwing bugs and these urns out onto the Medusa in the lane basically made it so she couldn't actually sustain. And the Mars eventually gets level 6, gets the kill. Benny goes down bottom, so nice rotation there from ads. Meanwhile, they're looking in the jungle. Not going to find anyone quite yet, but they did see the rotation with a ward, I think, so...
Yep.
Supposed to be like.
Now I want to reiterate
it
it one more time, Ricky. Unfortunately, because people are still asking. Atlantic is not replacing Gunner. He is just standing in for this series, you guys. I say for the umpteenth time. Gunner is currently on a plane. His manager asked to reschedule the match a week ago. BTS was unable to accommodate, and so ads will be standing in. Gunner will be playing again, I think, next time they play.
Unless he has to get on another flight, Monkus.
Yes. And that is the last time I'm telling you guys.
Bottom lane, nice dodge on the Monkey King. He's just gonna try and TP out, but the damage, it's just way too much physical armor reduction. And honestly, Jupiter's just gonna kill Grimstroke as well, I think, right? Can't he just chase him? Spear off the mark, but Moo rooted in place, able to just bounce back and forth. Serum 2 points in the Purifying Flames, unable to get the kill there onto the Spirit Breaker. Okay, he's out.
Middle tower is under attack.
Yeah. And everyone's gonna back up over to their triangle. This side of the map.
A subtle bird.
Benny's gonna continue farming. He's sitting at the top of net worth on the Phantom Assassin, so Benny doing super good this game.
Despite his death as well.
Yeah. His 2 deaths. They're gonna have to deal with this at some point. Goes to be like getting run out right now by Mini inside the jungle. But he's just gonna walk away.
He's getting charged, actually. They could use a Boundless Strike to set up the charge connection, so it's something to be very careful of if you're Mini here. He is heading to the bottom rune, though. He knows it's going to be up.
Yeah, and it's gonna be a double damage rune.
But yeah,
Pretty sure if the moment Moo takes this,
it's on ads. All right.
yeah, but it gets dispelled by the Oracle here.
Disarm. Yeah, he's out. Oracle pretty good here in this game so far.
Yep.
Charge bottom.
He's moving.
On to Mars gets a spear out though. He's fine. As continuing the chase though, here on the Monkey King, God's Rebuke making the space he needs. Does have a boundless strike in a couple seconds. Ends up just dropping the arena instead. They might just kill the Monkey King. Ads. Boundless strike comes through, doesn't get any attacks off. That's a kill. And now looking for the Grimstroke as well. Z-Freak just gets popped. Double kill for the Oracle. I mean, not even a little bit too deep, way too deep.
Yeah. I mean, just trying to make space for the Medusa, I guess, but those deaths, they end up going a long way. Monkey King was one of your most farmed heroes inside the game, and he needs to be carrying this. Like, he can't afford to be going down like this. And this has happened 2 games in a row where Ads has done decent during the laning phase, and they just kind of fallen off due to his aggression. Costa B like does like playing these greedy position 1 heroes, but I don't know. He's not gonna be able to carry this all by himself.
Dude, I mean, Medusa definitely can't carry this all by herself. They have way too much damage on these other heroes, and Weaver is just constantly contesting her farm. You can already see like the net worth like difference between the fours, but I mean, your mid lane Monkey King is last in net worth, despite what having, like you said, should have been the best matchup on the map.
Yeah, and he ended up maxing out his Jingu Mastery as well, so any kind of aggression, Ember Spirit was just forced to play super far back in the lane, otherwise he's super heavily punished.
Oh,
Bottom,
no.
Jupiter charged by Moo.
Another strike does come out. He does have time lapse, though. He's just going to use it right away. Silence comes through from the Grimstroke. Inkswell as well. Oh my god, the bash. It connects. Mini coming in. Is it enough to save the Weaver? Looks like it's going to be charged for the moment. Will connect. Moo's got to get rid of the bug, though. Instead, we'll just TP home. Will be enough to save him, so. You lose the Ogre for the Weaver. A definite exchange, but a pretty good one overall for the Zoomers.
Yeah. So Zuma's going to be happy about that one. Yeah, and their draft is a better place, but still 2K net worth advantage right now for APU King of Kings.
Dude, having Max Jingu is so rough right now. Like, this hero just cannot farm.
It doesn't farm, yeah. And we talked about that. When you're playing against melee heroes, it's not so bad going for the extra points of Jingu Mastery, but he kind of fell off, wasn't able to farm out lanes. You go so slow in the jungle without points into Primal Spring.
He's fully committed to it, too. He got the 4th point in the Boundless Strike, so he is just fully committed to just fighting. Smoke comes out. Charge ends up connecting onto Benny. The rotation up here. Boundless Strike comes through, but can they actually finish him off in time? He gets Phantom Strike to the other side of the fight. Does give you the save from the Oracle. You've already lost the Grimstroke. PA is out, and the rest of the Zoomers on the run as Husky gonna drop a Fire Blast, but a dagger from downtown setting up another kill here as Benny's able to just finish it off with a Phantom Strike.
You could not kill the Phantom Assassin fast enough there. And it's only a single point in the blur. Didn't even evade that many of those attacks, but ended up getting away.
Man, they are just unable to find anything here on the Zoomers once again. It's similar. It's very similar to last game. Right? They make these plays and they just net nothing from it every single time.
Adds way back into this game is not going to be easy. I mean, it's basically just kills that he has to find.
He's going to get passed by the Weaver in no time. Like, Weaver's going to pass him in net worth by the 20-minute mark. 100%.
It's looking like it. Going for the Echo Saber so we can pump out a little bit more damage, but yeah, he's super far behind where he wants to be. They do find the Weaver here, but he ends up walking away. I mean, at the very least, Costa Belay is finding a lot of farm, but he's not out farming the Phantom Assassin is the issue.
No. And that being said, this is without the Battle Fury, and Benny's about to complete it. He's got so many early starting items as well, just to tank him up, make him a little bit more difficult to kill. Top lane charge comes out onto Mars, able to cancel that charge with the spear, but another strike comes through. Does he even care? He can just drop an arena, right? All right, they will get the Boundless Strike off. They will be able to find the kill here, most likely. There it is, the defensive arena. He doesn't have any way to cancel it. And he's out. Oh my goodness.
Now, unfortunately, they end up losing Grimstroke all that happened. He was down in the bottom lane, got cut out by the Weaver, bugs dropped on him, Urn dropped off into him, and then was finished off there with the assistance of the Ember Spirit.
I mean, you do put Arena on cooldown, but not dying on the Mars there is huge. You just wasted so much time from 2 cores once again. And this is, I can't stress this enough, this is a non-farming Monkey King, right? They do manage to find the Weaver behind the tier 1 tower, so he just gets bursted out as he happens to walk right into a sentry, so good find there from Z-Freak. They're going to smoke up right away, and you have no choice. You have to keep doing this. You just have to run it, heroes. You've got Spirit Breaker and a Monkey King 4-1-4.
Yep. They find Mini, thankfully.
Found the strike into the charge. Can he get the bash as well? Able to dodge it out for the moment, but he goes right to the hands of Z-Freak. Fire Blast plus the Inkswell doing some work. Coastability making the rotation over, and Moo will grab the kills. So finally, Zoomers getting on the board here, showing some signs of life. So they claim themselves now a second kill. Not a ton of gold going their way, but it is something.
That was like best case scenario for them as well. If you look over here onto Radiant Vision, they actually had the Observer Ward down to where he placed the Remnants, but they were smoked up on both the support heroes. So you end up Fire Remnanting into the 2 heroes that were smoked where I thought it was safe.
Moo charge comes out, found the strike, sets it up onto the Oracle, and they will grab the kill on Serum to start it off. Weaver protected by the Invis, but a sentry does come out pretty much right away, taken down by the Mars. So you get the mid tower as well, and they're just going to continue the aggression. That's exactly what we're talking about, the charge. It's on to Benny. It's going to connect, no Nether Strike, but he's actually afraid of the PA at this point as the TP's coming in as well. So they scan it out entirely. They know exactly that APU is coming in, trying to take a fight of their own.
Yep. Yeah, without use Nether Strike onto him, he doesn't want to fight against
Husky
PA.
finds him. Fire Blast comes out as well as the Ignite, but Benny going to continue the chase, and Minnie's going to be the one that ends up picking him off with a Sleight of Fist.
Yep. I think Mini did end up catching Xantic with that Sleight of Fist at the tail end of it.
Yeah, he did.
But he ends up getting far enough away that they aren't able to keep up the chase there. So everybody gets back. They lose the Ogre, not the end of the world. But now they turn their eyes over here to the mid tier 1 tower.
Ooh, charge up, finds the Oracle. Grimstroke on the backside, perfectly done as Z-Freak's gonna find the kill. Honestly, this is where things become a little difficult playing into the Spirit Breaker. He's got that Shadow Blade done. Gonna definitely go for an Aghanim Scepter soon after.
Yeah. What's he got flying out? Oh, just some TPs. Still a pretty long ways off his next couple of items, but most likely going to be eggs.
Slide chains onto Do. Gets the Fire Blast out to prevent that Arena from coming out, and instead the chain stuns get him. Weaver as well silenced up. They find Mini. That Remnant's not going hardly anywhere. Silence does connect here from Z-Freak. He's able to get rid of it for the moment, but Nether Strike canceled. Beautiful Sleight of Fist. Pops Pig mode. But Moo, he's got his eyes set here on Mini. They will get vision for the moment. The Boundless Strike's going to come through in time to take down Mini as well. So now, almost evening out the game here, 14-13. Just a slight gold lead for the side of APU, but it is dwindling fast.
Yeah, there's a nice juke spot attempt there by the Ember Spirit, but of course, Ads jumps right over where he happened to be on the Monkey King as he leaps towards the trees and catches vision of him, so he's able to get him with a Boundless Strike. So signs of life here, and they're going to keep the aggression going. Spirit Breaker tries to jump Jupiter, but under the tier 2 is a little bit too far forward.
Yeah, I really love the choices from the side of the Zoomers here, just to continuously play aggressive despite having been so far behind. Nether Strike comes out, finds Serum, Boundless Strike plus the Silence. He gets him once again, and now charge through onto the Weaver, clips the Mars. 2 more kills. Zoomers, they're zooming, man.
They are zooming. This Mars has been stun locked twice in these team fights. He just can't get anything off. He might be rethinking the Blink Dagger that he's got queued up at this point. He needs to get himself a BKB, but at this point, it's going to come out so slowly. He's not finding himself any farm. Phantom Assassin, thankfully, is farming up while all this is going down. And she's almost got her BKB. Once that one's completed, I think it'll be a little bit easier for them to take these fights. But at the moment, just these chain stuns.
Coastability's nearly caught him, man. Like, he was pretty far behind at one point. But he's basically caught him. I mean, they were 5,000 gold or more ahead here just about 5 minutes ago. And Zoomer's bringing it back to almost net even. Smoke up here from APU. Husky underneath the ward, doesn't really know it yet.
BKB is now complete on the Phantom Assassin, so they want to take advantage of this timing. You don't do a ton of damage on PA yet, but at the very least, you could catch out Z-Freak on the back line.
Benny goes in, manages to find Z-Freak, Inkswell plus. I mean, he's actually keeping himself alive for the moment. Does have a Soulbind, not going to drop it in the middle of the lane. They drop the Arena on top of the Monkey King, and he's in a lot of trouble, surrounded by 4. He just gets crushed.
Yeah. I'm not sure if you caught that, but the Yules ended up coming out from the Mars on the Monkey King the moment he got enough Jengu stacks for his mastery.
And we knew
So
that
it
this
just
was going to be an
dispelled.
issue, right? Because you have the Oracle already, but yeah, a Yule's Mars is a really good way of dealing with it too.
So he ends up controlling the Monkey King off on the back line, and it's very much needing a BKB in order to actually stand in these team fights and do damage. And took the fight right beside the pit, so now they go over to Roshan. I'm not sure they're going to be able to get in here in time to stop them from doing this. They're TPing everybody out. They scan it out, but again, too slow.
Yeah.
Yep.
Very quick Roshan. Benny's gonna grab himself the Aegis. Looks like they still considering fighting here, as you do have the Scotty finished up on the Medusa at this very moment. Mars gets the spear out, silence for the moment, trying to run away. There's gonna be the Yules to cancel the charge, so nicely done, but a Soulbind on to do. It is gonna, oh wait, the Soulbind holds him in place now, and Weaver can't get out.
Yep. Because he ends up keeping him alive.
Yeah. That Soulbind actually, or the false promise ended up killing the Weaver.
The Weaver.
That's kind of funny.
To see it. Yeah.
You're like, oh, I'll get you out, Mars, and then you're like, Weaver's like, no, don't do it.
No.
I don't want to be here any longer. Moo just dies mid lane. Okay. He knows there's a ward now.
Yeah. I think he was going to charge the bottom lane. He ended up getting Slug Searing Chain there. Nice catch by Mini. Ads, I think, trying to scout things out. Thinks the hero's over in the mid lane, but without the Spirit Breaker, they just don't have the chains done in order to kill these heroes. I mean, Moo has played such a big part in the last couple of fights. He's the reason why Mars didn't really have a presence.
Yeah, absolutely.
Both teams playing very close together right now. Still have the Aegis for, what, 3.5 minutes on the Phantom Assassin. Doesn't have level 18 yet. Working on, what is this, a Desolator? The Desolator or Basher? Just got Mythical Hammer queued up.
Moo's just going to walk up onto the high ground. He sees the camp being cleared, so they know Benny is here. He gets vision for the moment. Doesn't want to go on him, though, thanks to that Aegis, and instead he's going to find Jupiter on the backside. He just gets absolutely melted as Medusa, just dumping the damage. Arena doesn't connect on anyone. Spears is going to send ads back, and Z-Freak able to relocate with that TP, so he's ready to go. They've got a charge available. Who's it on? It's going to be the Oracle. Perfectly canceled, though. Nicely done there by Serum, able to keep his himself alive. Time-lapse in from the Weaver to try and help in this fight. They get the kill there onto the Ogre. Big Wukong's command, hold him down. 2 heroes Soulbind, gonna hold the PA as well as the Ember Spirit. Charge does come through. Doesn't have mana for the Nether Strike, pops the Soul Ring, gonna have it now. Turns attention onto Minnie, but the question is, can they take down the Medusa? She just holds her ground. False Promise keeping Minnie alive, but they pop the Aegis. Medusa running out of mana and fast. She's got to keep herself alive. He ends up shattering under the damage, and now Benny on top of Ghost of Belay here. He needs help. Husky rotating in, gets the Fire Blast. Ghost of Belay trying to run. Gets a 3x multicast with a buyback from Minnie. He's going to come right back into the fight, get the kill. Moo gets the charge off, trying to run away, but Benny's going to get the kill anyway. So ends up being a pretty good trade despite everything that APU had to commit for this.
Yeah, they just weren't able to kill that Phantom Assassin twice. Medusa eventually ran out of mana as well, so they have to buy back on Mini in order to stop the PA from just going down there. Very important they end up getting his Remnant out to come back to that team fight there. Otherwise, there's no way that King of Kings were able to take that fight, but dodged out the Wukong's command. They've just got no way of holding these heroes in place after like the initial Spirit Breaker charge comes through.
Yeah, also, it was so close.
Yeah, positioning of the Grimstroke and the Ogre Magi just made it super easy for the Phantom Assassin to cleave down the Grimstroke. He jumps onto Husky, ends up just clipping Z-Freak on the back line on that team fight. They're doing a decent job at cutting these heroes out. I mean, Phantom Assassin, I think, didn't expect the fight to be so difficult for her to take there, but as her level 18 now, has the Desolator completed, I think the next couple of fights are going to be a little bit easier for King of Kings. And close to this level 20 as well. I think she takes the Armor Corruption here.
I think a lot of time you do. Blur Evasion against Monkey King Medusa is pretty sick, but both of these heroes have no problem building MKB. And we already see one queued up on the Medusa, so
I mean, I don't think
he goes for it anyway.
Has the money for an MKB. Yeah, I think it just makes the Wukong's command like a non-factor to her in these fights. You have 85% evasion now. Like, you can just fight under Wukong's command without a care in the world.
Yeah, you just try and get on top of the Medusa. but he's
Medusa
almost
has
has the
MKB.
MKB, right? That's his next item.
And I don't think they're going to be able to take a fight before she's got that one done.
Ads is still pretty far from his BKB.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Spirit Breaker almost has his, so he's going for the BKB instead of going for the Aghanim Scepter, which we see a lot of times just be the second item out from this hero, just so you can continuously spam that charge, but looks like he's preferring the BKB this game.
Yeah, I mean, you're playing against these Dispels, right?
Yeah. They're going to smoke up on APU. See if they can find them in the mid lane. They do have a nice high ground ward here, but Zoomer is not sitting under. The Radiant do get the scan. Maybe just jumping up onto the high ground is going to be their play. Husky pops the smoke. Has the ward there to scout it, but he gets the arena. The spear is going to catch right on the Ogre. Coast to be like, pops the ult. Has to just sit here and contemplate life. Meanwhile, Ads on the backside, caught by 3, gets the Wukong's command. Nah, it ends up canceling. Knows there's no chance he's going to be able to survive this, and now Z-Freak able to TP out. No, steering chains from Mini. End up taking another 3 kills on the side of APU here.
That's rough. The BKB is still not done yet on Moo. I'm not sure they're going to be able to take these fights in the next couple of minutes. And Monkey King hasn't really caught up at all. It didn't go as bad as you theorized. You thought Weaver would end up surpassing him in net worth, but Weaver has been going down at the beginning of a lot of these fights, so hasn't been able to do it. But definitely behind where he wants to be is a position 2 on his team. And this is kind of, him being punished by King of Kings taking the last couple of team fights super well. Like, you ended up going for this build where you put no points into Tree Dance. You went 4-1-4.
Yeah.
So you've had just no time to farm.
Part of, like, they did a really good job at recovering on his hero in the mid game, like the early mid game when they just started rotating and finding kill after kill. He ended up jumping up to like 4th in net worth at one point, but now those kills aren't as easy, right? Those kills aren't like nearly as easy as they were before.
Yeah.
I think they saw the smoke. They were underneath, like, channeling on the outpost when they popped it. So, 4 Zoomers, I think, are finding moves just sitting on the high ground here with the bulldoze, waiting for them to come up, and he will see them. Dunha goes in, gets the dust. Moo in some trouble, but they caught Coast to Belay. Charge gonna make a little bit of space. Spirit Vessel dropped on top of the Medusa, but he's able to just stand his ground for the moment. They do have the high ground ward. Benny just jumps in on the backside. Excuse me, Benny gets saved for the moment thanks to that Oracle. The false promise is there, but he's just stuck. Stone Gaze not gonna proc. Gets the jump over, almost just, okay, just 2 shots move, but he just shatters anyway. You lost the PA for this. Boundless Strike's gonna cancel the TP there onto the Oracle. Benny just getting way too aggressive without the vision either.
I'm not sure what he was doing. Do you know what he was doing there?
I mean,
it was way too far forward. Maybe he thought the Mars would follow up and jump in and come alongside him, drop like an Arena of Blood, but without an Aegis available,
he already blinked.
Like, yeah.
Mars had already blinked. He blinked onto the Spirit Breaker to get the dust off, so he had no way to like go that far without just walking into a Medusa.
Yeah, way too far forward there by Benny. It's super heavily. This is super punishable as well. If there's an instant Roche respawn, then 4 Zoomers could just get themselves the second Roche.
That was also the MKB reveal from Coast to Belay. He didn't know that this item was up, and that's why he died so fast. Like, he thought he would be, okay coming out of the false promise, but nah.
Yep.
Way too much.
But he didn't have any lifesteal on the Phantom Assassin either, so it's not like she had any way to heal up during the ultimate.
Caught the Weaver? Yeah, they did. They grabbed him.
Yep, dropping all over the map. The only saving grace is going to be a Roche respawn of a minute and 12 seconds now. So they will have Weaver and Phantom Assassin back up in time for that one. If Husky waits around the pit, he's just going to end up wasting his time. Although I would have... Yeah, that's such a bummer. 4 Zoomers could come back into this if it was an instant Roche respawn, but it's still going to be pretty difficult for them. But signs of life, at the very least, Medusa's going to outfarm Phantom Assassin while she's dead.
Honestly, they're looking pretty good in Moo mid lane. Trying to get aggressive onto the Mars. Boundless Strike finds Mini on the backside. He's going to be forced to BKB, but the slows in front of the Medusa are quite a bit. He's still got the Nether Strike. Gonna drop it now onto the Mars, but Benny comes in on the PA, ends up getting bashed. They got the Stonegaze, the 2 hero Soulbind. Can they bring down Benny in time? He's down to 100 HP. He can't escape. They get the kill, and Mars saved from the false promise, but just a triple kill for the Medusa. Mini able to make it out.
Just getting stunned up and outdied twice in a row. 4 Zoomers coming back into this game. Benny just going too far out of these enemy heroes. I mean, we've seen very clearly in some of these fights of what happened to the Mars. They got the chainstone available on Zoomers. If you put yourself out of position, you will get punished for it. That's exactly what's happening now.
I mean, the Medusa matchup into the late game is obviously very favorable for the Medusa. They have a gem here, actually, on ads as they're trying to get on top of the Weaver. Phantom's Embrace is going to catch him eventually. That was very weird. Did you see that?
Yeah.
It kept, like, bouncing on the hero instead of connecting. That was weird. They have spider legs on Dire. They do not. All right, so no RNG for the Spirit Breaker today.
Unlucky. They had spider legs on Radiant.
Yeah. Roche is up. They know. Husky's there scouting it. He's got himself a Solar Crest, and with Ghost of Belay should be more than enough damage to take it down. He's on his way to his Manta style.
I mean, you don't do damage super fast here. Polos is going to speed this up. No ads in the pit. I mean, Phantom Assassin will be back up, but they need somebody to slow this down.
They're pinging it
in order for PA to get here.
On the high ground, Weaver throws the bugs in. They'll just let it get tanked by Roche. Try and finish that one off in time. He's going to drop the Wukong's command as well, so Ads just wants to guarantee they get themselves this Aegis. In comes Mars, almost lands the spear there onto the Medusa. Would have been so sick. False Promise. Going to buy him a little bit of time, but he doesn't get anything. Instead, he's going to get
a drop when he comes down.
Yeah, he's going to get himself a early grave.
Yeah. 60 seconds, and they ended up giving a kill off to Costa Belay as well. Now super far ahead of the Phantom Assassin, almost 5,000 net worth up on him, in fact.
The 2 deaths in a row, man. He died.
Yeah.
Costa Belay didn't die once. He's suddenly top net worth. He's got Cold-Blooded and an Ags. So taking down this, or not the Ags, the Aegis, sorry. This Medusa is going to be way more difficult to deal with now.
Yeah.
He has a Butterfly queued up as well, so...
That's a double damage rune.
That's pretty huge.
He's going to take it on Moo. I mean, Medusa doesn't want to spend the time to go back. They have 30 seconds right now without Mars.
Manta up onto the high ground, just going to do what they can here to try and do as much damage as possible. Weaver's got to be careful. The disarms from the Oracle do definitely slow this down quite a bit.
Yeah, as do the bashes. So Mars will be back up for this one. They might choose to get back, but I don't see why you waste any time letting them complete their next set of items here on the side of King of Kings.
He just keeps triggering Cold-Blooded with the dagger.
Yeah, and so you go back up to full mana.
Oh, man. Looking for the tier 2 top. Only 1 creep here, then they'll bring it back in.
Yeah. At the very least, Phantom Assassin is like, I think it's the lowest int growth rate in the game, at 1.4.
Yeah, I mean, it's still so much mana.
Yeah. Well, you steal, how much mana? 50% of that mana.
Plus. Yeah.
It's 50%, yeah. So you end up getting like 300 and, I don't know.
375-ish, maybe more.
Yeah.
Ooh, bottom lane, charge. Ooh. Got side of the Weaver for a moment, but they were really looking for Mini on the Spirit, on the Ember Spirit. He's able to get out.
Yep.
Gonna take bottom outpost here.
Ember Spirit working on this Lincoln Sphere. He's almost got the money for it. Needs to clear out probably like 1 or 2 more creep waves. Once he's got that one complete, it's going to be a little bit easier for him to move around the map by himself and dodge out the charges coming from Moo.
All right.
Gem now bought on the Oracle. I mean, that's surprising that he buys it now, even though they're stuck inside their base.
That is a completed Butterfly for the Medusa. So you have no one that can actually go through this, like no MKB being built. So the Medusa is now borderline unkillable compared to every other hero in this game.
Hmm.
And someone's going to have to find a way to do with this.
I mean, they just don't have magic damage coming out from them. Like, everything is going to come from the Phantom Assassin. Right now, they're working on ways of staying alive in these team fights. So Ember Spirit, he's now got the Lincoln Sphere completed. Yeah, they're not biting right now. I do scan them out, though. They're all very worried back here behind these trees.
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense, right? Like, you know the 4 Zoomers are going to commit for this bottom tower. It's the last remaining tier 2. You guys still got 1 minute and 40 seconds on the Aegis. I would guess Zoomers start pressuring the high ground here fairly soon.
The only thing you're concerned about is getting speared like further back into Apu's base.
Yeah, that is pretty scary. You're almost to level 25 on the Medusa, and that is a pretty big pickup, honestly. He's going to get it. Split shot modifiers.
Yeah, everybody who comes around gets hit by the Mystic Snake. Or sorry, the Eye of Scotty.
Scotty and MKB.
Yeah. Goes to be is terrifying now. PA changes her mind from the Abyssal Blade that she had queued up, instead of going for the MKB right now.
Has
Might
to.
get caught out by move here.
Someone's
the
got to be
blur's
able to
gonna
hit
keep her
the
alive.
Medusa, right? And it's got to be Benny, but it's gonna. I don't know. He actually buys the shard, the Fan of Knives, which I'm not 100% sold on as to why. Like, it's decent, I guess, against the Monkey King, but doesn't do anything against the Medusa. None of her stuff for passives outside of Cold Blooded.
Unsure.
It doesn't break Split Shot or Mana Shield. I know that for a fact.
For my coffers.
Don't know. All I know is how important this MKB on Benny is going to be. I mean, you end up losing that fight even before they had the butterfly completed on the Medusa. Now it gets even harder.
They're charging bottom. Moo, he's committing this time. Oh no, he cancels. Walks under a ward sentry. Mars. Arena Spirit just pops the BKB into the Nether Strike, and Costabile is on the backside. He's just going to start laying into him. They found Mini. Soulbind is there, trying to run away, but the Remnants, they're not that fast. Ends up barely surviving on just a couple hundred HP. They get the D wards.
Yeah, ends up committing 2 remnants for that, but almost dying there on Mini. They could have lost the game off of that one. Moo was forced to pop his BKB when he came back down in order to survive that, but still, nice play by him. Now, do we just wait for the next Roshan, or what?
I mean, you could. I think...
Uh-oh. Ends up blocking the ancient camp that he was about to farm. The tier 4 neutral items just spawned as well.
Costabile has an Aghanim Scepter queued up, which is very good. Just a little bit extra crowd control. But whether or not you can actually kill this hero is going to be difficult.
Yeah.
Monkey King going to be very happy about the Penta Edge Sword, which he does have his MKB done. I think you pointed that one out.
No, I did not. Thank you for thinking I did, though, Ricky.
You're welcome, of course. So Weaver does have a halberd, you know, stop the Medusa from attacking for the moment. You have the disarms that comes in from the Oracle using Fate's Edict, but he's been pretty good at using the Manta to remove that.
Yeah, he has. And I just don't see a way for King of Kings to leave their base at the moment. They need like a couple more items. BKB on the Mars is going to be so important. I thought he would change his mind from this Blink dagger that he had queued up and just go for BKB instead, but never ended up doing that.
Spell Prism is quite good. I don't know who's going to take it. Probably Z-Freak. Yeah, it's just so strong on this hero. Ink Swell plus a talent. Amazing. Smoked up on the side of APU. See if they can find anything on the side of the map, but at the moment, oh my gosh, the Dire just scan him exactly on the mark. Okay, they know. And Costabile is just gonna hold his high ground. They see Serum. He's just like, oh god, get me out of here. In trouble. Costabile stuck inside the arena though. Ad's gonna be able to chase after him with the BKB. Can they actually do it though? Benny's on the backside. Z-Freak protected by the Ghost Scepter. Mini comes in, but the crit damage coming through from Benny. There's gonna be the Stone Gaze though. Can he actually escape is the question. He's running, but Costabile is fast to charge. Stop for the moment thanks to the Yule Scepter, but Costabile ends up getting the kill. Dune as well goes down. That is a PA allude. I didn't realize he had Dark Portrait, but apparently he bought the Aghanim Scepter just before that fight. Moo, charge, does find the Weaver. Bash number 1. Does have time lapse, of course. Albert will make plenty of space for him to get away.
Yeah. So Medusa's still standing, forced to buy back there on the Oracle. The Phantom Knives did end up finishing off the Monkey King. The gem's still on the ground, by the way. Okay, they end up grabbing it. But without the Phantom Assassin in these team fights, I don't know how they defend. Right now, the Ember Spirit is just trying to cut waves, but it's pushing in through the top. I'm pretty sure Costabile just ends up getting the racks off of this one.
They might just wait for the Roshan. La Medusa just picked up the Aghanim's Blessing, so she's just continuing to farm. I'm curious what she replaces the power treads with. A lot of people just go the Swift Blink, right? Late game, they just drop treads for Swift Blink.
Swift Blink and then jump in front of the enemy team, yeah.
Yeah.
Off the back of that team fight, though, I mean, he just couldn't finish off these heroes quite fast enough on the Phantom Assassin. It's not easy to get the Monkey King. He's got a lot of armor. And he's going for more armor right now. Adds the Assault Cuirass queued up. Realized that he's going to be the primary target of the Phantom Assassin, but the supports on the backline are doing a great job of dodging out this PA, and it's made even harder by the Ghost Scepters they picked up. So for Zoomers, they've itemized so well for this game.
Do you remember when Monkey King used to have like a plus 100 armor talent in Wukong's command or something
Yeah, that was
insane?
sick.
That was so funny. Top lane, Mars getting charged. He's got to run and fast. He does have a Eul's to make some space, but there it is, the stone form from the Mystic Snake, perfectly stunning him down. So he can't get that Eul's out. So nicely done. He does have buyback though.
It was only 500 damage on that charge. I suppose he doesn't have his level 25 yet, though.
My lord, this guy is fast.
Very speedy Spirit Breaker.
So Zoomer's now a 13,000 gold. I mean, we can see the graph. It was going so much in favor of APU, like we saw
And
earlier.
you can see the
but
moment where the PA died twice in a row.
yeah. They also just left the gem in the Roche pit to scout the respawn, which is always a really fun trick. It's going to be an Aghanim's Scepter, Cheese, and an Aegis. I'm sure they'll give the Ags over to Monkey King. It's just so good, right?
Yeah, I'm trying to find the exact like notification where it all turned around.
Okay, never mind. They just give it to Husky. Screw you, ads, they say. It's mine. Husky wants to throw more stuns at people. This man's got a lot of spells on his bar.
Fire Shield, I'm finding Fire Blast, Bloodlust, Ignite, Fire Blast. I mean, who says Ogre isn't skill-based when he's got that many buttons?
I don't know. Sometimes you just ride around on a chicken and kill stuff.
Yeah, but he makes riding around on a chicken complicated when he's got it. He's got it all. Oh, he's truly the Magi.
They just smoked up and they saw it, so I think it matters all that much. They know they're just going to protect the heroes on the back line while the Medusa goes right onto the tower. So just going to make it difficult for anyone on the side of APU to initiate the fight because your Medusa is pretty much your only target. Well, Spear comes out, doesn't end up finding the right one, and the Chain Stone's onto the Mars instead. He's going to get saved for the moment thanks to the False Promise. He does have a buyback once he falls because he has no chance of getting out of this one. Meanwhile, on the backside, Z-Freak was the target from Mini, but the BKB's expired and he just gets bashed to death.
He can't find anything, and he doesn't have buyback available. He bought out before he went down there. He's down for 120 seconds. There's no way they're going to be able to defend this without the Ember Spirit. They're going to need a miracle for this one.
Yeah, and I don't think it's coming anytime soon because you got a Medusa.
I think they're going to try to bait them into the tier 4s here, but I'm not sure 4 Zoomers is going to fall for that.
And there
They've
it is,
got
the
buyback
Swift Blink.
available on the Mars, and he's not buying back. Yeah. Yeah, they're not going to go for the tier 4s at all. They're just going to go for the tier 3s, grab each set of racks. You're going to be forced to buy back here to try and defend on the Mars, but unless they dive way too far forward for Zoomers, I don't think they have a way of... I don't think they're going to go down, man.
They're doing a pretty good job at purging the Bloodlust, but it is still so much damage coming in from the Medusa as their second lane of barracks falls here. And they have no entry into the fight. Like Ember Spirit, yeah, he tried to jump Z-Freak previously, but it just wasn't enough. I like he's actually just using Inkswell to heal himself. Charge comes in. Moo! Goodbye, Oracle. No chance they find Benny as well. He has buyback. He's going to use it to get into the game. Mars respawning as well, but 2 heroes down. A massive advantage here for the 4 Zoomers as they just drop the Wukong's command around the last barracks. Going to be able to secure themselves. The Mega Creeps and APU looking like they are going to drop here in game number 2.
Yeah, and off of that, they can just walk back. I mean, the Medusa is still over here. She's got basically no mana left. They might try to come out and Coast Belay here, but she gets back up, full HP and mana. I don't think they're going to be able to bring her down, man. They're just accepting that their buildings are dropping.
They get the disarm. I mean, she's got an Aegis, right? Like, it's so hard to go on this hero. Charge comes in, finds Jupiter. Mars on the backside. Gotta be careful. Nice 2 heroes spear, but no one dies. Instead, you just lose the Weaver. His buyback is available to get into this one, but Benny is too afraid to start this initiation. He just gets the blink. Wait, did he blink out or in? He blinked in. Oh my goodness, Benny dead, and they get the illusion. Now Mini on the backside trying to get on top of Z-Freak. He's doing a ton of damage, jumping back and forth, but he's out of remnants now. Sleight of Fist comes through with the silence and the fire blast as well as the charge. The base is just dead though. That's gonna do it.
Yeah, bring it back from nearly impossible game. All off of those 2 deaths on Benny. Ended up going just a little bit too far forward and invading the enemy team's triangle. I'm not sure what he was thinking that time. They couldn't follow him up, but for Zoomers, just playing that super together. Tons of chain lockdown for the Phantom Assassin in several of these team fights stopped her from being able to do anything. And APU Kings end up dropping the second game. For Zoomers, they didn't end up needing Gunner for this one. They had it the entire time.
Yeah, it seems both games, the last pick was just super strong. We see the Naga Siren absolutely crush the game for APU. This time, it's the Medusa. And a couple rough fights from APU in that like mid game ended up giving them a lot of space. And Zoomers capitalized, man. They did a really good job recovering from this one.
Congratulations to them. I want to hear who made some of these calls though, because again, he did end up dropping on Phantom Assassin twice in order to kind of give up the victory that you'd secured for yourself. But it took like good fights nonstop from that point onward on four Zoomers. It never gave Phantom Assassin a chance to come back into this one and find a ton of farm. Like if you look over at player net worth, like Benny, he just kind of like plateaus at that time that he just about dropped. And this is just as you end up finishing the MKB on the Medusa as well. And at that point, he never found a ton of farm for the rest of the game.
Yeah, it literally is.
It's
It's like the 31 minutes, right? Is when they went for that fight in the triangle. And like you said, MKB had just been finished up on the Medusa and Benny had no idea about it. So that was, and just being the perfect combination there for the Zoomers as they take the game and tie the series. So ends up going 1-1 in their first game here, or in their first series of the BTS Pro Series. But we have one more series coming up next, and it's going to be Thunder Awaken versus The Cut, everyone. So stay tuned for that one. We'll see you after the break.